80,000 real estate brokerages. Do we really need 80,000 real estate brokerages?
No.
1.3 million agents, do we really need that many? There's gonna be 10 to 12 million consumers, whether any of us are in this game or not, because we're gonna sell 5 million sellers, $5 million. So that's gonna happen. The MLSs, 700, do we really need MLSs? And by the way, when I talked about that 300 billion being sucked out of the value chain, the tripart association model, NAR, state, and local, together with the MLS model, and when I say MLS, I have to throw in Supra, because if you can't get into a house, what good is it to be in an MLS? Those three components are $950 million a year. And that money's coming directly out of real estate agents' pocket, whether they had a commission that month or not. It's $1 billion that the association in the MLS industry imposes, if you will, on independent contractors. Mortgage lenders, there's over 400,000, some say as many as 500,000. Most of them working on a 1%. They're another commissioned agent out there. Title insurance, there's probably 50,000 agencies, some are owned by the direct underwriters like Stewart for Samaritan or Republic. But there's many, many more independent title agencies, which are really like a little real estate brokerage. They do the work, but the underwriter produces the product. Home services provider, it's estimated there's 3.4 million people involved in the trades that constitute home service. Everything from plumbing, the maid service, the renovation, the re-roof. And Mark, I chose this number 1,000, that there were, for my time at Rezo, I'm thinking there's like 1,000 point solutions for residential real estate. And everybody's selling their widget, right? And so 1,000 tech guys are sucking some money out of the commission bowl.
So who would be the top three biggest MLS guys today?
Number one would be Southern California, CRMLS, what, 85, maybe 90,000. Next one would be Bright, which is the merger of DC Atlantic region with Philadelphia. That's 80 to 85,000. Where I'm from in Houston, there's 35,000 users.
Do you sort of see the possibility of one or two of the big guys just going on a shopping spree and just buying everybody out of the market? The MLS data particularly?
Yeah, it's interesting. I know this, that out of 700 MLSs, the top 100 would constitute about roughly 90%.
About 90%, okay.
Yeah.
And the top 50 MLSs, about 62%.
I think it's like fiefdoms. I mean, they're protected. So like,
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
have MLS PIN here in Massachusetts, doesn't include Berkshire, does not include the Cape Cod and the islands. Okay, they refuse to be part of that MLS PIN, which is everywhere else. And it makes no sense.
No, but if somebody, I don't mean Google in particular, but somebody on the side of Google can come in and just buy out the top 20 and.
Well, you got to look at it this way.
They're owned by realtors.
In most cases.
Yeah.
So here's
Some cases they're not.
here's one perspective. 700 MLSs are really nothing more than 700 databases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So could all that data be on one?
Yes.
By the way, today there's 200 million active listings. The average listing will have about 200 data points. So 2 million times 200 is what? Is that 40?
Yeah. I mean, my point is that it's not, it's not a technical thing. It's another
No.
people problem.
Well, but there is a people problem.
It's a
The
people
other
problem.
half of the MLS is the membership, cooperation, compensation rules, governance rules. And that's why the MLS folks will tell you, we're never going away. You can't just have one MLS because we're local. We got to be there to handle grievances and arbitration. And that's, I'm not arguing either way. I'm just saying that part of the industry is costing $1 billion. All right?
Yeah, 10 years ago it was 880. MLSs? Oh wow. It's coming down slowly, but it's
Yeah,
going
there
to
are
go
some
asymptotic. It's going to go
Yeah.
asymptotic.
Yeah.
We'll never get smaller.
I've probably already covered this well enough. Supply chain model is how most businesses, and some of these thought leaders in the industry will call these pipes. Supply chain is a pipe. You produce raw material, or IP, you create a product, you move it to the warehouse, you move it to a distributor, you move it to a retailer, it finally gets to a consumer. That's a supply chain. On the marketplace, the platform digital marketplace model, it's all of those products and services without the supply chain. It's up on the platform for discovery by the consumer. Discovery, interaction, and then the purchase. So some examples, supply chain to the left, platform models to the right, physical versus digital going to the left. You see I've placed real estate agents in the supply chain model physical. Although we have, I guess, some startups that think they can have a real estate brokerage in the cloud and do transactions.
Right.
So the leaders that are to the far right and up north would be the Wayfair model and Amazon and you know, I'm not a sketch artist. I do the best I can, but you know, now what this is all about is I'm arguing it's time for the industry to consider a platform, a digital platform marketplace. And in that marketplace, you would have all of the home services, all of the title, the mortgage, MLS, and brokers and agents. The platform would be operated by an architecture called Platform OS. App developers would be invited, because it's going to be open source, to build additional, sort of like the App Store, you know, build a widget, build a product that can enhance the experience for the consumers or the vendors.
If you had to do an analogy, would NASDAQ be a better analogy than Uber for such a platform? Because Uber is owned by one company. NASDAQ is owned by a company, but there's rules, operations, and so on, and it's a sort of a...
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, the platform is going to be owned by
like a NASDAQ.
one company.
Right. But this is the problem, is that like if it's an Uber, you know, the other companies don't play. But if it's a NASDAQ, well, okay, there's equal rules for all the players. There's a membership fee to maintain the infrastructure.
It would have to be a cooperative.
It has to be a cooperative.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it has to be.
If Uber was a platform marketplace, then you would come to their marketplace and they would have Uber, and they would have Lyft, and they'd have Yellow. They have all of the.
Right.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask in regards to that question then? So your model was the equivalent of Uber, because it's owning everything and trying to sell.
That was the goal of the model.
Yeah.
Right?
We own the world.
And what you're maybe suggesting is a model that is more like the stock
The
exchange model.
NASDAQ cooperative model,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the market.
I don't want to.
No, it's just helpful to have the metaphors and the.
Yeah, the platform doesn't want to build, buy, or own anything.
Yeah.
They don't want inventory.
Right, so that's it.
They just want to
So
facilitate.
how many new homes residential are built annually? Because when you go to the NASDAQ model, there is an optimal number of transactions that can happen by virtue of the physical space. So like, how many million homes will come onto the market as new assets or shares being traded on this platform?
I estimate 7 million, 7.5 million
Annually
a
in the
year.
United States?
5.5 million will sell. And I calculate that by getting to the end of the year, and NAR says we sold 5 million homes,
5 million.
and there's 2 million active listings, so there must have been 7 million homes.
So does the consumer add it to the platform? Like would I go around and take a picture of my kitchen, a picture of my outside of my house, and I upload it to the platform, and then the rest works?
I think anything's a possibility. Think of YouTube as a platform.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube doesn't do films or movies like Netflix. Right? What do? They facilitate users that come in
Mhm.
and look at video that was created by the users. So the content, the eye candy,
Yeah,
if
so
you will.
you put your photos on Pinterest or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and there's links in the MLS to have a look at your insides of your house.
Yeah.
And because it's your house, you can control what's being shown on the photo.
So it is like YouTube, because some professionals have their own channel, and then I can just put up my own
Yeah,
video that no one
and-
likes
and
to
so
watch.
what if the platform operator decided to put physicals up there? And have an app so that you could send your photos and
Gotcha.
I don't know.
So I use the Fizbo app to get it up to the,
And so as a house buyer, I would go onto the platform and I would have to pick one in every category really, right? I would have to, a mortgage supplier, an agent.
You would pick the ones that you need, and the seller or buyer would have to go on and buy the ones they need. It becomes like the services we've talked about, very simple services compared to a mortgage process. It's I'm going for a particular singular task almost, a car ride, watch a movie. Even Amazon, for as great as it is, I'm going to buy a product. And I kind of own that transaction for the most part. It's my movie, I start it, I stop it. Here there's multiple players, they have to all agree to play well together.
Back to what he
They have
said, is
competing
basically,
goals.
I pull up Uber, there's a choice. Uber Share, Uber X, Uber Big Cars, that's what you're gonna get.
Right.
Which mortgage provider is offering you the best deal?
But I need to pick a mortgage dealer and I need to pick in every silo.
Silo.
Right.
So you have to pick one in every silo. And then what the platform can then do is it can manage for example, the passing of all the documentation.
Yeah, and as you could imagine, that the user, the consumer has to set up an account. We have to have data on that, right? And so now the algorithm is seeing behavior, whether it's tracking, who you're looking for a mortgage rate or how, so there's a lot of intelligence that starts coming out of this platform
Yeah.
that can help both parties over time.
And these platforms work when they get enough users, for the most part. I mean, there's a certain threshold you have to be at.
It's always the same problem.
It's the chicken and egg.
It's a chicken and
That's
egg
fair.
problem.
It's always the same.
But I got a question for you. So when you're trying to pitch this, particularly to an old industry with big incumbents, what I use is often, look, if you move to this new model of a platform supply chain, distributed, decentralized, pick whatever cool name, you will make more businesses will emerge, more entities of new types will emerge, just like Uber did not exist 10 years ago. Does that apply here? What do you say to these people, the community, these people who go to the conference, hey, in the future, you will actually make more money if you go onto this model?
Can I preempt the answer and just say, I'd like to give Daza a full 15
Oh.
minutes before he leaves,
Yes,
which
you will.
means, can you give us the 4-minute speed version
Yeah, I
of
got
the
this, just a
slides?
couple slides.
And then the robust conversation in the room, I hesitate to interrupt, only because Daza needs
So
to.
we
get
can
out.
interrupt only 50 times in the
50
next.
times, okay.
Okay,
so
we can-
we'll-
Only 50 interruptions
you.
in the next
I think
4
there's
minutes.
2 speakers after me too, and a hard stop
Yeah,
at
there are.
5.
There
So,
are.
All
Yeah.
right, sorry.
Just
So, supply chain, capacity, producers, consumers. At the end of the day, a real estate purchase only requires 10 or fewer products, and they're right there. It could be as many as 40 if you want to add even more inspections on them. But for a typical clean residential transaction, 5, 6, 7 products or services are all that's required. So in platform thinking, if I'm Wayfair, I've probably got 500,000 pieces of furniture. If I'm eBay,